Welcome everybody, I'm the Sorrow, back with power rankings for Sunyshore Battle Federation, Season 11. This time we're in our second low-tier division, Shellos West. Also the last division to finish drafting, and when randomizing the order in which to record these ones, also the last one I wrote, so yeah, seems to be destiny at this point, doesn't it? Anyway, again, power rankings done by me are purely based on my opinion, how I personally feel about the team. So if you feel like I've disrespected your team or I'm wrong, please feel free to let me know in comments on Discord or anywhere else where you can find me, basically. Yeah, let's get right into it, shall we? Coming in at number 16, we've got the Magnemite, coached by Ryan Time, with Drapion, Decidra, Hisui, Bellybolt, Feraligator, Bronzong, Magmortar, a Selgor, Golbat, Spidops, Trapinch, and a Delcatty. Terra Captain, Spidops, Trapinch, and Delcatty. I like the Trapinch. I like the Spidops. I do not like the Delcatty. I think this Pokemon's useless. Main issue with the team for me is that outside of a Selgor, it's really, really fucking slow. So you're gonna take a lot of hits. Most often not if you can't get your webs up with like the Spidops. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, other than that, we have Bronzong, which is one of the best mons in the format. Really insane that this was available like round 5. Also, or maybe they picked it up during Grace, I'm not too sure. However, Bellybolt, Decidra, Bronzong sounds like a decent defensive core to me. Drapion is a good setup threat, as is Feraligator. Magmortar is a good breaker. Yeah, but just, I don't know, for me, just the team isn't it. Also, rock types, like you have 4 Pokemon weak to rock, which is never good because rock coverage is rather far spread. A bit of a fire weakness going on there as well, so you might want to be careful about those, but still a pretty usable team with hazards, removal, everything you could want. Yeah, intrigued to see how Ryan does with this, because just I've placed it last year doesn't mean I think it will do poorly. Next up, number 15, we have the LSMU Eternal, coached by Kung Fu Panda, with Flygon Fortress, Helios, Lapras, Bastiodon, Masquerain, Valplum, Sanduscorch, Inteleon, and a Bunnelby. Yeah, so right off the bat, fighting types really go in, because like 2 of your 3 fighting type switch-ins get devoured by rock moves, so could always just be a prediction to just a rock slide or stone edge, and that they come in and just take a shit ton. So that's one issue I see. Also, like the ground weakness isn't bad because Flygon I think comes in reasonably well on those, as well as on edges if need be. Still, however, Flygon isn't the bulkiest, so it kind of hates being close combated into. So you might really want to watch out for that. Also, if you don't bring your Bastiodon, flying moves are really free into you. So that's also something to keep in mind. Yeah, no Ghost and no Dark type, no Fighting type either, so I think no Ghost and no Psychic is what is forgivable, but having no Dark and no Fighter is always a bit meh in my opinion, which is why elsewise I think this team is good, but just these types missing brings it down a bit for me. Bastiodon being able to go fighting doesn't mean they will be fighting every time. Also, like the speed gap from Flygon to Masquerain is I'm a bit iffy on, I might be real, but yeah. Masquerain also, of course, could web to somewhat remedy that, so yeah, intrigued to see how this team will do. Probably way better than I give it credit for, but still. Moving on. Number 14, Water Polo Warturtles, coached by Forza FC with Glastrier, Manectric, Mega Hooper, Glycolilligant, Pyukumuku, Muk, Comfey, Sliggoo, Hisui, Houndoom, and a Quaxwell. Terra Captains are Lilligant and this Hisui and Sliggoo. Yeah, again, like after Manectric, next fastest thing is stupid Comfey. After that, speed tiers look fine, but like 120s, which are some in the tier, might go to town on you, so you might want to be really careful about it. Yeah, however, my issue, like this team is the definition of being Edgequake weak, because outside of your Gligar, which then once it loses, it's like Eviolite will take these hits a lot worse. So yeah, like for that alone, I couldn't put myself to rank this much higher. Also, again, this top speed gap is a bit missing. The rest of the team looks cool. Breaking potential's there. And then you have the potential to run away with games with Comfy, of course. So always keep an eye out for Quaxwell is a cool little Violet spinner in my opinion. So yeah, overall decent team, but I just like the others a bit more. Coming up at number 13, Merseyside Malamara, caused by Steelfox, Flomo, Mola, Durant, Sigilif, Skuntank, Shaman, Turtonator, Palisand, Crabominable, Diglett, Raptor, Galar, and a Stantler. Your fastest Mon being Durant is a bit meh. Also, your team doesn't appreciate Ghost Pokemon really much, because I'm not sure how often your Terra Captain Stantler will come, and yeah, that's so then basically you only use the Skuntank, which isn't the bulkiest, I will say, so you may want to watch out on that front. Also, you have no flying resist, so Hurricane, if it hits against your team, is rather free until like your no, actually, Crabominable can't go Steel, sadly. Which you might want to consider. Like, I would consider maybe changing that, but totally up to you. Like, yeah, but for all the weak, like, hazards look decent. Removal looks also decent with, like, defog from, like, your Sigilif, which is, I think, your only option. I'm not sure if Shaman can defog, really, but might not matter. Still, yeah. So we have, so yeah, but I think 13th is fair because I just feel like the team's, for me, it's just missing something. Can't tell you what exactly, but it's just missing something in my opinion. Yeah, number 12, the Swampert Squad, coached by Mudkip Fan with Registeel, Audino, Vikavolt, Bramblegast, Taurus Badea, Aqua Lycanroc, Glaceon, Sneasel, Hisui, Emolga, Articuno, Galar, and the mascot Mudkip. Glaceon and Bramble as Terra Captains are really nice choices in my opinion, especially with the types they've got. Those look really, really good to me. Yeah, Registeel and Audino is a great Fairy plus Dragon, Fairy plus Steel Core. We're missing a Dragon, but with the limited amount of Mons in low tier, often there aren't any really good Dragons to pick, so I think it's forgivable to skip it. Webs from Vikavolt might be crucial to this team because if you like, because it's a bit on the actually no, it's reasonably fast for this metagame. Actually, it's fine, but the webs actually might enable you to run like more adamant or modest natures. Also Vikavolt just hits like a fucking truck, so if you can get your hits off, insane. Got your spikes, got your rocks, maybe even T-Specs. I'm not sure if Sneasel actually learns that. Would be cool if it did, but I think it should. Yeah, removal Bramblegast and Emolga that can defog, so you're set on that end as well. Yeah, overall I think this is a solid team. Just yeah, some weaknesses like which you can see, which is why I couldn't put it any higher really. Moving on, number 11, Phoenix Solrox, coached by Avery, with Rabambi, Lucario, Typhusui, Arboliver, Altaria, Claydol, Diancie, Crocalor, Arbok, Quagsire, and a Cleffa. Terra Captains are Altaria and Arbok. And yeah, again, outside Rabambi, this team is rather slow, so webs might be a must for you, which tracks down also like your also stupid Edgequake weak and flying weak as well, but at least you have like one resist in your Diancie, which is a good resist, mind you. The water weakness can be remedied by your Altaria and Water Herbs of Quagsire, of course, so that's shouldn't be a too big issue. Yeah. Outside of that, I don't have all that many complaints really. You've got like under webs, this team is scary, so that's for sure. Yeah, like under webs, this is really, really scary. And yeah, like you have removal, you have your hazard stacking for your own. If you can get these webs up and maintain those, which could be a bit rough, because like your Typh isn't the bulkiest and probably wants to preserve its HP for these eruptions if you choose to run that. So yeah, yeah, like if you keep webs off, this team might struggle quite a bit with the weakness it has. Hence why I'm putting it as low as 11th. Still not a bad team overall. I think very usable. Intrigued to see where it goes. Coming in number 10, we've got the Bay Area Boomburst by Luxus Lid with Torterra, Chandelure, Regius, Mawile, Frostmoth, Exploud, Substriker, Regirock, Noivern, Jupiter, and a Golisopod. Regius and Substriker as Terra Captains are really great choices in my opinion. Those two should do well. I'm pretty sure of it. Torterra is a great setup threat. Chandelure, great choice user, or can also be setup. Mawile is a Fairy and Steel type just for filling that need for those two types and being able to intimidate. This cool little pig. Frostmoth also can quiver dance up and run away with games if you're not careful. Exploud, probably one of the best special breakers we have in this economy with like Scrappy Boomburst. Just hits so stupidly hard. Substriker, good Terra Cap. The Regirock is also a low-key threat, so shoutouts to that. Noivern, one of the best Pokemon in the meta. Jupiter for webs, of course, because your team is also really, really slow, which is also, again, why I couldn't put it higher. Like, you might actually depend on, like, some speed-boosting items slash... like, speed-boosting items or, like, webs from Jupiter, or run, like, a Trick Room Chandelure, which I could see, but... yeah, this is like this, and again, rock types have really like you have a good switch into Edgequake in Torterra, but you also might want to preserve HP on it. So, yeah, which is why number 10 it is for me. Coming in at number 9, the Canadian Crabrawlers, coached by Vian with Cyclosaur, Slurpuff, Swampert, Barraskewda, Scrafty, Probopass, Magma, Overqwil, Chimecho, Groddle, and Delibird. Probopass and Chimecho for Terra Captains sound very, very solid to me. Got the fastest one in the format with Barraskewda, I think. Outside of, I think, like a Ninjask or the Electrodes. I think only those really outspeed this, and a Selgor, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like one of the fastest Pokemon in the format, and probably the one that deals the most damage with its speed. Great pivot alongside the Swampert as a bulky water, which is good. Yeah, Cyclosaur is a good pick for like rapid spin. Also in this metagame, its stats aren't even that bad. Like 95 attack is really solid. Like Choice Band Double Edge actually hits quite hard. Scrafty is a good fighter slash dark type. Like could run double intimidate strats. But also could just run Shed Skin or like Moxie on this. Also, this team could low key with Chimecho set Manual Rain for like Overqwil and Barraskewda. Just putting that out there. The option is there. Which is a next threat level that it is there. Main issues, you have no fighting immunity, so no ghost type basically. So yeah, CC is pretty spammable into you because Chimecho hates knockoff if it's not terrestrialized already. And Slurpuff, yeah, lots of fighters carry like Poison Jab or stuff to hit you. So yeah, you might want to be really, really careful with this. However, overall, team's still really, really solid. Like it a lot. You've got your hazards, also your removal. Like Chimecho can defog, Delibird for spin, Cyclosaur for spin. So yeah, lots of stuff that can happen. Overall, decent team. Yeah, moving on. Number 8, Shaman Serenity, coached by Sven Levin again. With Samurai Sweet, with no sharpness. Bear in mind, Mega Banette, River Oricoriu, Espeon, Vulpix, Blossom, Rapira, Eldegoss, Virizion, Bombardier. All around. Just some great Pokemon to have on there. Yeah, like speed-wise, I think the tiers are fine. A bit on the slower side with 110 being your top speed, but I think that's in this meta it's still okay. And Blossom, Bombardier are good choices for Terra Captains in my opinion. Yeah, your team's a bit ice weak, I've gotta say. Like you have 5 ice weaknesses, 2 of which could terrestrialize out of it, of course, but only one will. Yeah, and like your resistances, one of those hates Freeze Dry, the other one's a Vulpix, so only really Revavroom might be the real Freeze Dry switch in a game, so you might be careful with that because water moves then do a lot to you. So yeah, you might be a little careful around that, but I think it's manageable. Flying moves are flying Pokemon are okay to you as well, but overall this looks looks like a really well balanced team with your good hazard control, good hazard setting, with setup threats. So I think this is a perfectly middle of the pack team in my opinion. Also, all forms of Oricoriu is something to keep in mind, of course. So yeah, I think overall this team is very well balanced, hence why it's straight up in the middle. Next up, number 7, Smoliv Garden, coached by the scary Smoliv with Palmot, Alolan, Max Zorok, Hisui, Blastoise, Steelix, Whimsicott, Musharna, Glimmet, Butterfree, Walrein, and the Tranquil. Musharna and Butterfree as Terra Captains. Musharna's goated as a Terra Captain. Like, Miklos did so much work with this when he had it. Butterfree, I think with Quiver Dance could low-key, if like Quiver Dance, Tinted Lens, or even Combat Eyes, like this could be a threat low-key with Terra. So you might keep an eye out for Butterfree, unironically. Glimmet is a cool lower tier hazard setter that couldn't be run. Steelix is one of the best Steel types in the format. Blastoise is one of the best spinners. And then you have just your hard hitters in Zorok and Palmot. Nasty Plot is banned on this, so that's to keep in mind. But Makalola, also one of the better Pokemon in the format, for sure. So again, I think just another good middle of the pack team in my opinion. Again, my biggest issue is like the gap from Palmot to Blastoise, but I think that can be played around, so not the end of the world really. And yeah, not much to complain. Number 6, the Sleepy Gang, coached by Freeze with Salazzle, Rotomoke, Gastrodon, Doublade, Sneasel, Xatu, Wigglytuff, Fro, Gigalith, Stoutland, and a Sliggoo. Got your little Sandcore in the back with Gigalith and Stoutland. You've got your Fro as just a bulky fighting type. Terra Captains, Wigglytuff, and Sliggoo. Actually, with a better typing, Wigglytuff actually becomes a good lower tier wall. Though I wouldn't underestimate it at all. With its HP stats, it passes powerful wishes. I think it can cleric as well. Can set up rocks, it can teleport even, so you just take a hit, teleport out, and you just gain some slow momentum that way. So yeah. So overall, really great team. You have the Xatu, which can also Wish Pass, by the way, and also teleport. So again, like those two, from a nice low momentum core. Sneasel is a good breaker in my opinion for this metagame. Salazzle, just to be annoying toxic stuff, can even Nasty Plot and do stuff from there. Rotomoke, great pivot. Gastrodon, great defensive piece, and Doublade, the always scary Doublade. Yeah, really good team. Really like it. Even you have Magic Bounce and Defog for removal as well if you need it. So yeah, greatest team. Number 5, Philadelphia Psybeam, coached by Eli, Crobat, Tinkaton, Pangoro, Chelsea, Cloth, Grafai, Piloswine, Executor, Rapidash, Electrode, Hisui, and a Poiple. Terra Captains being Cloth and Executor, I like those two a lot as Terra Captains, I will say it. Those just look amazing. Yeah, so those just look pretty amazing. So yeah. So yeah, like I don't have much to say about this team really. Sorry, I just got a bit lost there. Jealous and Pangoro. For that alone, I almost put this team higher than I put it. I would put it even higher just for those two, but there are some minor issues like base 150, like some of like 97 to 75 is mid, but actually I like Cloth as a Terra Captain a lot. It's as Executor, like I think those are two of the best Terra Captains you could get. Grafia for like Unburdened stuff or Prankster support should just be annoying. Even Poison Touch is good. Low tier, even the Poiple could do stuff. The Hisui Electrode, just a good fast pivot. Pangoro strong. Tinkaton strong. Like that's another good ass team really. I don't like, we all know Eli's good. Like I will say Earthquake is a bit of a problem. Because once your Executor terrestrializes, your switch in is Crobat, which then can be caught rather easily with a Stone Edge, which is why I didn't put this even higher, but still, good team, really well drafted. Number 4, Rain City Rillaboom, coached by Little Big 672 with Gardevoir, Lokix, Tentacruel, Flamigo, Golurk, Aggron, Bolton, Pyra, Ludicolo, Fracture, and a Batic. And yeah, last season, I've had you last. Now I have you in 4th, because this time around, this team is actually threatening right off the bat. Like, that's threatening for sure. Like, I don't know. I have to. Like, I don't like this team has it all. Beartick and Fracture are good Terra captains. They were really good Terra captains. In fact, Fracture can set up with Dragon, like with Terra and Dragon Dance. That thing is threatening. I've gotten a sweep with that last season, so yeah, good Pokemon to have for sure. Ludicolo can run Rain Dance sets. Is also a really great water resist for the team, I've got to say. Yeah, because that covers your Golurk and your Aggron really well. Low Kicks, Gardevoir are immensely powerful. Tentacruel, good T-Spiker, good T-Spike Absorber and Rapid Spinner. Flamigo in this metagame is really strong as well, so don't count that out. Bolton is a good breaker. Yeah, and even Pyro, so I have no big complaints with this team. Looks great to me. Really nice drafted. Looks right off the bat, looks way scarier than last season. Really intrigued to see how far you can take this. Coming in at number 3, we have the Blasting Supernovas, coached by King Bob, with Tyrantrum, Weezinglar, Seismitoad, Serena, Kilowattrel, Pikachu, Miss Magius, Hitmontop, Corsola, Verdier, and an Abra. Pikachu and Corsola look like two really solid Terra captains, especially the Pikachu. That thing tore me to pieces in last season's playoffs, I think. Was not fun having to fight that, because with Light Ball, Terra Normal, like Fake Out Extreme Speed hurts. Really powerful, I've got to say. So yeah, Tyrantrum, Weezing, Seismitoad, and Serena, and Kilowattrel, like those form a really, really nice core. Main complaint: no Steel, no Dark. Is a bit also no Fire type, which is why I didn't put you even higher. So you're missing some types, in my opinion, that are really pivotal. But on the other hand, again, just Tyrantrum, because we freed it, it can dance this season, so it's really, really dangerous. Also, why does this thing have Sturdy here? That's wrong. Might have to go and fix that as well. In my decks, just finding more arrows as I do these, so actually has something good to it as well. Yeah, no, but overall, good hazards, good removal in Serena and top. Yeah, speed-wise, bit big gaps maybe, but still manageable. Especially like this tier above Miss Magius, like from 105 to 120, isn't as populated, so you will get away with not too many things running Adamant or Modest on you, so I think it's alright. Coming in at number 2, we've got the Los Angeles Nidokings, coached by Joey, with Fazandipity, Sinistra, Tauros, Podea, Blaze, Redon, Jolteon, Audino, Sandaconda, Crustle, Frogadier, Swoobit, and Liepard. Swoobit is actually the sole Terra captain for this team, because none of his other Mons are in the Terra Point range. And yeah, like Fazandipity is new to the format. We've introduced it because we think it's fine for the power level we're moving at. As a Sinistchar, actually, because without Terra, Sinistchar isn't nearly as dangerous in my opinion. Just strong Dark type moves can handle it, because its BDEF isn't the greatest. Yeah, like speed-wise, this team looks very well constructed in my opinion. No real complaints there. The ice weakness is manageable with your Tauros, and like could even consider running Eviler Frogadier for their troubles, but still, yeah, as Earthquake is really good into you, but it is really good into many teams. So don't think I have to say as much. So your Monterey Bookie, Violet Duraldon is good. Jolteon for just a speedy pivot. Audino for Lice Wish Passer, Sandaconda for Rocks, Crustle for Shell Smash and Rocks and Spikes, Frogadier I think also can set hazards if I'm not wrong, and Swoobit just a good setup threat, plus a supporting Liepard. Yeah, not much else to say. Really, really great team in my opinion. Deserving of the number 2 spot. Really intrigued where you take this. Coming in at number 1, we've got the Lost Resolution, coached by Cavern, with Pincurchin, Raichu, Driftblim, Quillfish, Hisui, Tatsugiri, Escavalier, Toadscrew, Aromatisse, Hitmonlee, Camerupt, and a 2 Cannon. Yeah, there isn't much I can critique about this team. You got your types covered. Of course, the terrain team will be a bit Quake weak, but you have a Toad Screw to come in on Quake. As Cavalier, for the most part, doesn't really care. Eva Drifblim doesn't care. Toucannon doesn't care. So you have your options for sure to switch into it, and knowing Cavern, he will. So yeah, Tatsugiri and Quillfish, I think they drafted every time when they played here. So yeah, Aromatisse is a good wish patcher to unburn Mons and Driftblim and Hitmonlee to make it even more threatening. Plus a Mega Camel. Like Aromatisse is low. You have this team Loki has a Trick Room mode with like Aromatisse, Ascaf, Camerupt, and Pinkerton. So don't count that out. Driftblim, Terra Captain, Toucannon, Terra Captain, great choices overall. Yeah, and I think overall worthy of our #1 spot. And with that, I conclude power rankings. I'm finished with all recordings. I shall now get to editing and to see that I put this out ASAP. Thank you all very, very much for watching, guys. Please leave a like, subscribe, and of course, leave a comment if you will and tell me how wrong I was or that you think differently about it. If you're not in the server, please join the server and be a part of our beautiful community we're growing. Yeah, again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the season. Have a good one.